While hundreds of thousands of Ugandans queued up outside registration centers of telecoms to verify their data, a storm was brewing from behind the counters. NTV learned this morning through the UCC Manager of Consumer Affairs that many telecoms had flouted earlier registration guidelines, which would require more work to fit in the new data arrangement system.
The format that was issued to the operators to present this data, okay, was also now challenged, or a challenge, in such a way that we have operators actually who registered individuals using national IDs. But what they were doing then were actually capturing images of your ID. So basically they have a detail about you and they have an image of your ID to accompany it. Now the format that we require this data is that you need to give somebody's names, somebody's phone number, and somebody's NIN. Now the challenge came that the operators who had now to extract this NIN from an image into the format that was required. Now if you have 5 million records, that is a tall order.
Just a day to the deadline, UCC, the regulator, would listen to pleas from telecoms and the general public on the growing lines and panic outside ID registration centers from people yet to receive theirs.
While we were pushing for a deadline, which should have been today, there are a lot of issues that came as part of the process. And looking and analyzing at what went on in terms of the kind of stampedes we saw that were not anticipated, given the number of people who actually have registered national IDs. We had issues of networks actually collapsing at some point in time, whereby people were having difficulties actually getting on there. We had a target. But you know, if we had met, say, you're looking at hitting about 90 plus of kind of registration. By the time, as of probably midday yesterday, we're a little above 50%. All these things weigh into a decision of whether the deadline, one, is still realistic, two, the impact it has to create, and three, the inconvenience that comes with it.
It is from these that UCC says the deadline had to be extended.
When these challenges were reported, I think it was just obvious to the leadership that something had to be done. One, make sure that the stampedes are really worked on, because the question came in Parliament. A team of ours was in the Parliament for a lot of other issues, and everything reverted to the SIM card registration. And the biggest question was, why the stampede? And remember that in the entire design, the stampede was never to be an issue.
The SIM card verification exercise threw hundreds of Ugandans into panic, with growing lines outside registration centers. Despite the long queues, it is estimated that not more than 5 million SIM cards were verified, and only about 10,000 national ID applications were received. These numbers are a dismal show of Uganda's 22 million SIM cards on air.
We had registered about 10,000 between 12 and yesterday. Now, you know, people, I don't know whether they didn't know that the offices were open throughout, but our offices have been open throughout the country in 117 districts. And in the 5 divisions of Kampala. Over the Easter period, we had to open up another 5 points in Wakiso.
Government has pushed the deadline for registration to May 19th, and it remains to be seen if the SIM cards that weren't captured will be verified. Raymond Mujuni, NTV.